Now, if you're going to decide to deal with women on a long-term basis, meaning a potential long-term relationship, what you have to know is that women want you to leave them, okay? This might sound like a shock. This might sound drastic. This might sound completely crazy, but stay with me until the end of this marker board presentation because I'm going to be showing you step by step why women want you to leave. Women want you as the man from time to time to do the breaking up. Women want you to provide that tension first before they have to, because the second that you don't, the second that you refuse to actually listen to this deep truth, what you're going to notice is that they will throw the curveball in far before you will, and this will typically be the end of the relationship or the interaction that you have with that woman. Stay with me until the end of this. This will completely change your life. Now, today's MBT masculine behavioral technique celeb spotlight is from Jamie. Jamie goes, Casey, my girl is all lovey-dovey now and women tend to gravitate towards me. Guys, I gotta ask, when is the last time that you had women actually gravitate towards you first? See, this is the behavioral shifts that I see time and time again with MBT, masculine behavioral techniques. So once today's video is over, I want you to go down below, you check out the link in the description that I provided for you because I made a full-length end-to-end presentation. Let's dive in. Now, there is no such thing as a forever smooth relationship. Women from time to time want you to leave them. Women from time to time need you to throw some tension into that relationship. You and the girl that you're with, whether it be girlfriend, girl you're seeing, wife, doesn't matter. The compatibility can be at a 10 out of 10 maximum. Same hobbies, same interests. She's attracted to you physically, blah, blah, blah. From time to time, she will still need that tension. So here's what I can tell you. Women want you to leave them. And the reason why women want you to leave them is because commitment crushes desire. You see, women are emotional, which means that they need drama, they need chaos or turmoil, and they need the ability to feel something on a day-to-day or a week-to-week basis, okay? This is a feeling that does not go away. This is how her brain is going to work 24/7 if she wants to feel. This is why guys who typically don't give them that stability oftentimes make them feel something that majority of men can't. Which is why her emotions are in that limbo. That limbo of emotions actually increases her desire. So here's why, you gotta understand this, okay? Especially in the world that we live in with music, with media, with television, showing these like lovey-dovey guys, the stable man in all ways, shapes, and forms gets screwed, okay? The stable man who's predictable gets screwed. And the reason why the stable man gets screwed is because the woman now becomes his whole focus. Okay, so he was told that if he goes to work, he gets a good job, he gets a 4-year degree, he starts making 6 figures or 7 figures even. You know, he takes care of his body and he works out, he's this high value guy. This is the narrative that even every single dating coach on the internet is gonna go tell you, that you just self-improve and man, you became that typical corporate masculine archetype and you're gonna have all these women after you. That is not how that works. She thinks that this guy's boring as fuck because he lacks all of the alpha characteristics. Now you might be sitting here wondering, well, Casey, I was always told that if I make 6 or 7 figures, that is an alpha characteristic. I was always told that if I have 6-pack abs and I work out a lot and I look amazing, that is an alpha characteristic. I was always told that if I was strong and I could protect, that is an alpha characteristic. Okay, cool, that stuff works great on paper. That does nothing to shift a woman emotionally, okay? Alpha, okay, a guy who actually puts himself first and makes the woman feel, okay, as if he is actually a high value man that she would want to pursue. This is a mindset, okay? This is not, oh, I'm 6'6", I'm 220 pounds chiseled muscle with a 6-pack and I have $20 million. That is not what that means, okay? So what you gotta know going into this is the stable man starts to display a scarcity mindset. His stability and his commitment to that one girl starts to trigger in her head that man has no other options. So you can have every single materialistic, like status-driven metric on paper, because you're starting to display low amounts of pre-selection, because you don't have other women actually pining for your time, craving your attention, wanting to see you, she starts to doubt your value. So let's even inflate these numbers more. Let's say you're 7'7". Instead of 20 million a year, you make 20 million a day. And let's say, like, it doesn't matter what you want. Like, you could have the 1 million blue check marks on Instagram and have 100 million like followers, okay? It doesn't matter. The second that you commit, this is gonna lead to her drop in desire and she's going to start to doubt your value. So here's what you gotta know, okay? What happens when she starts to now put the curveball in and wants space and starts to pull back? Well, guess what? His internal world starts to become wrecked. Now this guy, even if he's a textbook stud on paper, okay, even if this is like a high value dude on paper, he's confused. And what tends to happen is he loves her harder, okay? So the word that I have right here is more, okay? Because he does more. He starts laying on more text messages, more phone calls, tries to set more expensive, higher quality dates. He tries to do more for her to win over her approval. This is the opposite of what her deep down biology and what her deep down emotions as a woman wants. These are the things that's going to turn her off and push her away even further. This guy does more. I don't blame any of you guys for ever doing this. Okay, the reason why is because I believe every single person is a victim of their own circumstance, and because you were born into a world where this is how majority of men act, I don't blame you for following. Okay, this is what you've seen. This is what you've maybe seen from your dad, your uncle, your brother. This is what you've seen from your next door neighbor who's married. Like, it's not necessarily all your fault. Okay, there's a difference between having the wrong information, okay, and turning a blind eye to the information that you were given and just saying, oh, to hell with it, you know, maybe this was the wrong girl. That is not how you want to operate. You want to look at every situation, okay, figure out what you did wrong, obtain the wisdom, and then move forward. That's how a truly masculine man lives. So this guy does more. This is wrong, okay? This starts to push her away further. So here's the crucial point, okay? This is the crucial point you guys don't understand. Majority of men don't understand how deep this goes. This woman is sitting there hoping that this guy can stand up to her, to tell her to piss off and get out of here, and I'm not going to deal with this. This woman deep down, she's hoping he has the nuts to leave. She's hoping that you're not castrated at this point. She's hoping you have big balls and you can just leave and you can walk out that door and say, well, I don't need any of this shit anyways. And it doesn't matter if you've been with her for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I don't care if you guys are married and you have 6 kids together. Does not matter. She's hoping, okay, that one day she can respect him. A woman in no way, shape, or form can respect you if you cannot leave. The second that you can't leave is the second that you signal emotional attachment. The second that you signal emotional attachment, your SMV, okay, your sexual market value is revealed. This is why I've been teaching you guys, you need to conceal your sexual market value. You need to conceal your interest level, just like women do. Women can have 10 out of 10 sky high interest for a man. They will conceal that interest level. They will text him slower. They will choose which text messages to reply to and which not to reply to. And the reason being is because they're trying to heighten their perceived value. The woman is trying to make it seem like she is less available. She's trying to make it seem like she has more things going on. She's trying to make it seem like more guys may be after her for her time, therefore she's not able to turn that phone upside down from the table and text you back. She's trying to inflate her value. This creates tension in your head. Once that tension in your head's created, you start to doubt your own value, your own sex appeal, your own sexual market value, and you start to chase and pursue her. Women have understood this for the past 25 to 30 years, okay? This is why I'm teaching you. You have to conceal your interest level. You cannot chase or pursue these women, and truthfully, a lot of you guys are actually bringing far more to the table than they are, and you need to actually start to act like it. You need to carry yourself like the arrogant asshole that you need to be to actually turn a woman on and make her panties wet. If you can't do this shit, you will be left for a different guy who can. So this is number one. Commitment crushes desire. Number two, here's what you got to understand. Women will always test. They will test you on the first date. They will test you 2 weeks in. They will test you 2 months in. They will test you 20 years in. Doesn't matter. Now here's where guys also screw up. You believe that the deeper amount of time you spend with somebody, the more they like you. And this makes sense, okay? If you have a friend named Tom or a friend named Dan or a friend named John, you guys go out and you grab a beer together, maybe you and John have been friends for 20 years. So the time spent that you've put in with that guy, that's a relationship you don't want to dissolve, okay? That's how men work. Men are logical. Your rational brain takes over and you're like, you know what? I've invested into this person. They've invested into me. Let's keep the cohesion smooth. Unfortunately, that's not how women operate. See, here's why women will always test and why you have to be very aware of this, because a woman's idea of love is not your idea of love. Women will never just love you. It doesn't matter how long you spend with them. So here's where men get screwed. Men think that the time spent with that girl could be 2 months, could be 2 years, could be 20 years. They think the relationship equity that they've put into that, meaning the dates, okay, the vacations that they've put into it, maybe the equity that they've put into the children that they had with that woman, or even just the overall emotional care for her, making sure stuff's done around the house, helping cooking and helping cleaning, taking her out on dates, things like this. This means nothing to a woman. This does nothing to move her emotionally. And just because you've done these things, I understand your male logistical brain thinks that you have a deeper level relationship with her because of the time spent and the things that you've done. This does nothing, absolutely nothing for how she views you. So here's what you got to realize. The reason why this does nothing is it's not because they're evil. It's not because they're trying to be spiteful. It's not because they're trying to hate you. And it's not because they're trying to make your life difficult. Their biology is always optimizing for the strongest cock. The strongest cock, and that is hypergamy. And I'm not just talking about the strongest cock physically. I'm not talking about your muscles. I'm not talking about your bench press. I'm not talking about how much money you make. I'm talking about your emotional resiliency to not get attached to a woman. That is what a woman is looking for. A woman is looking for a man who does not go weak for her beauty, or weak for her sex. The second you do that, you now reveal your market value. The second you reveal your market value, she starts to doubt that value. You have now lowered yourself to the level of dating options that you think you have. And now all of a sudden she stops looking up to you. Therefore, she doubts if you can replace her. Okay, not that you can't replace a different girl. Okay, but she's wondering if you can replace a girl of her same market value. This is why she starts to pull back. This is hypergamy in a nutshell. She's always optimizing for it. So the mindset, okay, here's what you gotta have. The mindset when people disrespect you or test you, and I'm not just talking about women, I'm talking about men, I'm talking about friends, I'm talking about coworkers. You have to have the ultimate swagger or the ultimate mindset that says, I'm putting myself first. And this goes for any relationship that you have. Whenever there's disrespect, I don't care if you've been dating this girl for 20 years, you can literally say, you know what, door's right there. If this is how you're gonna act, you can bounce because I'm not gonna tolerate that. That's how you have to act. No, baby, what did I do? No, baby, let's talk this out. No, baby, let's make this up. No, baby, what did I do wrong? No, none of that. She knows what she's doing. A lot of you guys are playing dumb to this. You think that you're too naive to how the game actually works. You got to understand, that woman knows exactly what she's doing. So don't play dumb and don't think that she's unaware of it. She is very aware of what she's doing. And that's a big thing that guys don't understand. They think, oh, you know, she might need some space. She might not know what she's doing. She might not know what she's thinking. I don't know. You know, maybe she just needs some time apart and I did something wrong. No, that is not how this works. That woman knows exactly the buttons that she's pressing, and she knows exactly how to get the right emotional response out of you, and she's doing it on purpose to see if you're stupid enough to fall for that trap. The second you fall for that trap, you lower your male competency. The second you lower your male competency, this is now a man that proves to her, this is now a man that proves to her biology that he is not strong, he is not capable, he is not fit to actually handle the psychological circumstance. Yes, this is difficult. Yes, these are bitter pills to swallow. But every relationship, I don't care if you're a professional NBA player, I don't care if you play professional football, I don't care if you're a famous musician, I don't care. You will be hit with this the second you commit, because in all ways, shapes, and forms, commitment will crush desire. So, glad we got that out of the way. The mindset you have to have is, you know what, door's right there, I'm out, I'm fine alone. No begging, no pleading, okay? None of that. Door's right there. So women, okay, need you to leave them. Women need you to ignore them. This is why, okay, she needs that turmoil that the bad boy brings. The bad boy who doesn't text her back, doesn't call her back, she's indecisive as to where he stands with her. He naturally brings out that tension. He naturally causes that chaos. Women will make these arguments. Women will make these little breakups. Women will do these things to push you away just so she has something to fester over. Just so her mind has something to latch onto that basically tells her, hey, I can now be entertained for the next week or two. I can watch this guy turn into an emotional, emasculated version of his own self, and I can prove to myself that I'm actually entitled to a higher value man who doesn't break like that. This is the drama she naturally will create for herself. So here's what you gotta know. Stable, okay, the more stable you are, equals the more punished you get in the dating game in all ways, shapes, and forms. The more you care, the less sex you're going to get. The more in love you become, this equals the less she is in love. So you've been programmed to be in your feminine energy. And I don't blame you. The reason why I don't blame you is because this is how 99% of men act. It's not because they're trying to ruin their relationships or their interactions with women on purpose. It's because they just don't know any better. That's why I make these videos. So everything you've been told about how to carry yourself with women, how to properly interact with women is completely wrong, okay? These are true top dog or alpha characteristics. This is how guys who are strong, this is who guys who have options, this is how guys who have emotional resiliency act when they're with women, okay? The alpha gets detached post-sex, he doesn't get attached, Okay, majority of men get attached and they think that because they earned that woman or they won her over, they now think they have to do all of these things to keep her interest, when in actuality this is false. This isn't true. So if you're a guy and you're getting attached when you have intimacy or when you're sleeping with a woman, this is going to be a telltale sign that she's going to pull back from you. The more you care, the more you get, soft and mushy, the more cuddling, the more handholds, stuff like that. This is going to decrease desire, okay? The type of man who wins over the woman's heart time and time again is the guy who needs zero intimacy. We're talking zero intimacy. You don't care if a girl cuddles you. You don't care if a girl gives you a kiss on the cheek or on the forehead. You don't care if she texts you good morning. All of that shit does nothing for you. That does nothing to improve your life. That doesn't do anything to improve your financial circumstance. Not to mention when you reciprocate that sort of behavior, desire, especially sexually, drops anyways. I don't know why you want to continue to do the things and chase something that doesn't exist. This idea and this concept of mutual love, meaning I'm going to put forth effort, she's going to naturally put forth effort. The more effort I put forth, the more effort she puts forth. Now there's going to be reciprocation. And now we're going to live happily ever after and eat Hershey's Kisses in the park and go and use sidewalk chalk to draw our names and initials with a big heart in the middle. That shit doesn't exist. Women need to create chaos and tension in these relationships so they have something to fixate on. Your idea or your preconceived notions of what love actually is does not exist. And it's not that, the funniest thing too is the amount of excuses guys try to make with their past girlfriends. Oh, she had a traumatic childhood. Oh, she has daddy issues. Oh, she, worked a lot of jobs that required a lot out of her, so emotionally she's drained. Oh, she suffers from this. Dude, you can keep filling yourself with all these bullshit excuses all you want. The fact is she just doesn't like you, okay? I could give you, as a man, the worst circumstance, the worst childhood, the worst anything, and put a circumstance in front of you. Second, I put a hot Victoria's Secret model in front of you, and let's say she's ready and willing to be with you, you'll shape up real quick. Because attraction can't be negotiated. And attraction isn't dictated based on past life circumstance. So you can make every excuse in the book why that past girl didn't like you, what's wrong with that potential person. It's all irrelevant and it's all bullshit, okay? The bad boy or the asshole, okay, think of this as like a wild lion just roaming the earth. Just like use this as an image. He eats, right? He sleeps, he shits, okay? When he decides to find the female lion, he reproduces, he just does whatever the hell he wants, okay? He does what he wants. He listens to nobody. And what you have to understand, the top dogs who act like this, okay, they will never in a million years let a woman control their actions or their emotions. This is a turn on for the women. This is how you turn a woman on. This is what makes a woman want you. These are the things that women look at as strength characteristics, not your six pack, not your cool Lululemon joggers, not your three-piece Armani suit. Those things might be good for attraction to get your foot in the door on a first date. These things do nothing to build the attachment. So here's what you got to understand about relationships. Relationships, in all ways, shapes, and forms as a man, equals you're trading her sexual desire that she once had for you for a false sense of stability so that way you're not lonely. Now, when I originally wrote this, I was actually going to word it like this. I was going to write it and I was going to say relationships equals that you're trading her sexual desire for stability so you're not lonely. But I actually crossed it out and I wrote the word false in the middle of it. Okay? Because the truth is that you're trading her sexual desire for a false sense of stability. You think that when you get into that relationship with that girl, things are going to be stable. You think that she's going to continue to like you. You think that you're going to have somebody to go for 2-for-1 apps at Applebee's every single Wednesday and go have fun. You think that person is going to reciprocate. That is not how it works. It's a false sense of stability. These things don't exist. Inner peace and inner happiness as a man only happens when you're truly content with being alone. And when I say truly content with being alone, that means you have vision for your own life. You already do things that you want to be doing. You've crafted a life for yourself where you're content and capable and you actually enjoy your own presence. And you have friends and you have a life circumstance around you that you're proud of. Okay? With or without a woman. Women come and go. And that's why I have this next column up here so you understand this at a deep level too. Women will always start to act up when you're exclusively with them. All of them. They're just going to act rude from time to time. They're for no reason. And this leads confusion to your brain, because you're like, well, hey, you know, if I was with Tom for 10 years and we got a beer every Saturday together, and, you know, he invested in me by paying for my drinks sometimes, and I invested in him, and I've listened to his problems and he's listened to mine. You know what? Tom's a good friend. We're going to stick this out and be together. That is not how it works. Every girl that I've ever dated, okay, I have had to leave them from time to time. Think about that for a second. That time apart is what builds tension, okay? Then when that tension is there again, then what happens is her sexual desire goes back up. All of a sudden the behavior starts to change when they see that you have the strength to leave. Women need to know that you will leave them. Women need to know that you will walk away. And it doesn't matter it doesn't matter the leverage that she may have over you. You could, and if you are one of those guys who you opted into marriage, you could lose half your assets, all that stuff. Doesn't matter. If she sees that you don't have, like, if she sees that she can have leverage over you and get compliance out of you in any way, shape, or form because you're fearful, this is going to be the slow dissolve to the end of the relationship, okay? Here's what you gotta know. If the woman, okay, that you're dating or that you're seeing does the breaking up first, this is usually over. It's usually over forever. And the reason why it's usually over forever is because what that really signals is you've taken her shit for so long, she cannot look up to you. You have taken her shit for so long, she cannot respect you in any way, shape, or form. You've taken her shit for so long, she doesn't even like seeing you. She doesn't respect you, she can't look up to you. And now the biggest issue here is that she now has a fixed identity of you because you didn't just get the game. The fixed identity of you means that he doesn't understand what he's doing. He doesn't know how to make sure that I stay feminine. He doesn't make me feel the right sort of way. You don't get it. So you can go back and you can try all these different things to try to get the girl back. If she does the breaking up first, it usually doesn't work. So here's what I can tell you. You need to start to bring this drama first, okay? I'm gonna tell you this. You need to start the drama before she does. You need to pull back before she does. Okay, you need to leave from time to time in these relationships. You need to just exit, turn your phone off, leave from time to time in these relationships, just like they do. Think about that. You start the drama first before she does. You pull back before she does. You leave from time to time. And we're not just talking you leave for 3 hours and you don't answer your phone. Go leave for a week or two. Just stop texting her. Then come back on your own terms, just like they do. Here's the funny thing about this. Be sure to give no explanation why you did it either, just like they do. Give no explanation for your behavior, shrug it off and act like it just happened, and act like you'll come and go as you please. Because this is the type of tension and the type of chaos and turmoil that they need in their life in order to actually feel as if they're with a high value guy. And they will not feel this way if you're 6'6", make $20 million in the bank account and act like, you know, you're just because you have status, you're cool. They need to feel something because they're craving the tension that only guys with these specific characteristics bring out of them. This is the truth you're going to have to swallow. If you like this video, I want you to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to check out that masculine behavioral technique presentation in the description that I put together for you. We'll see you in the next one.